for our website, and of course Bob Ward, he's been there from the very beginning as well, and he is inside the courtroom. She's in the overflow room, and it really takes us through exactly what's happening in that courtroom, and really gives us a good sense of exactly what's going on.
And it's quite like what we saw with James Whitey Bulger, and that verdict was going to be read because we had to wait for word inside to matriculate outside and get to us, and we were able to bring it to you at home. We've done that drill before. We're here. We are once again ready to do it with the Tsarnaev trial, and then of course down the road, should the death penalty phase kick in, that'll be happening then as well.
So again, a live look right there at the finish line, and you see there are people who are, documenting the moment, and that is really where it all happened. And so many poignant moments happened after that. And actually, that's one of our reporters right there doing that. So you look at that, and you go back to that day, and then you also look at how another marathon was run, and how 20,000 plus people ran across that finish line. How you saw Boston Mayor Tom Menino and Angela and everybody walking across that finish line, and how Boston was strong, and Boston got stronger, and they will continue to do it no matter what happens with this verdict. That finish line is hallowed ground in the city of Boston, and will be for anyone who's experienced the bombing, whether you watched it, whether you knew people, whether you were involved directly, because it is hallowed ground now. And when people go down there, there's a different feel to it. But as you said, there was a point where it was just devastation and destruction, but from that arose this incredible bond, this Boston strong theme that so many people carry with them to this day, and will carry with them the rest of their lives. Guilty right now on count number 1. Guilty on count number 1. Now, guilty on count 1, that's conspiracy to use a weapon of mass destruction. That is the conspiracy death of Crystal Campbell. That's the conspiracy death of Sean Collier. That's the conspiracy death of Lindsay Liu. That's the conspiracy death of Martin Richards. So again, this is coming in right now, guilty on count number 1, part number 1. That is not one that carries the death penalty. Is that correct, Brad Bailey? Oh, I'm sorry, we've lost Brad. So again, this is coming in. It's going to come in slowly, but it's going to come in surely, for sure. This is guilty right now, Dzhokhar Tsarnaev. Count 1, part 1, that is conspiracy to use a weapon of mass destruction.
First count are coming in as well.
Oh, so the sub-verdicts are coming in as well. So explain that to us.
All right, so essentially we have the main counts, and then we're hearing from Gail Waterhouse, who was actually in the courtroom on the sub-count. Resulted in the death of Officer Sean Collier, yes. Resulted in the death of Lindsay Liu, yes. Resulted in the death of Crystal Campbell, yes. So we're getting some of those specific counts, which give us more insight into exactly what the jury is finding here. And so those are, again, coming through Twitter. This is how we're communicating with our reporters who are actually in the courtroom and getting us this information.
So again, guilty, count 1, part 2, conspiracy that resulted in at least 1 of 4 deaths. So far we have these guilties and then these sub-verdicts like Mike was just explaining.
The courtroom, guilty, yes, caused the death of Crystal Campbell, that was using a weapon of mass destruction at Marathon Sports, aiding and abetting, resulting in the death of Crystal Campbell, and that is guilty.
Count 3, guilty, the pressure cooker right there. So the use of a firearm, pressure cooker bombs at Marathon Sports, aiding and abetting, that right there, again, guilty. So guilty, 1, 2, 3. Guilty on counts 1, 2, and 3.
And again, on count 3, we're going to have some of these sub-questions that will be coming out.
And tell us about those sub-questions. Those are with the individual people, correct?
Exactly. So you have, as to whether the firearm charged in count 3 was discharged, we unanimously find, and we're going to hear that right now. Count 3, sub 2, caused the murder or
guilty.
Aided and abetted, yes.
So guilty of count 4, use of weapons of mass destruction at the forum, aiding and abetting, that again is guilty. So we're going through these one at a time. Guilty on count 1, conspiracy, use of weapons of mass destruction, and then all these subtitles here with Crystal Campbell, Sean Collier, Lindsay Liu, Martin Richard, the reason why so many people are so passionate about this. Guilty on that. Guilty on count number 2, use of weapons of mass destruction at Marathon Sports, guilty. Count 3, use of a firearm at Marathon Sports, that's the pressure cooker bomb right there, guilty as well. And guilty. Count 4, use of weapons of mass destruction at the forum, aiding and abetting, guilty on that as well.
So we have 4 counts, 4 guilty charges right now. Let's find Brad Bailey and bring him in. Brad, talk to us more about what we're seeing so far, laying out as you anticipated.
Well, what we're seeing is right now a clean sweep so far on the verdicts, and that it's coming in as a guilty across the board. And those are unanimous decisions by each of those 12, by that 12-person jury.
And it's interesting, we're looking at what Gail Waterhouse is saying, and she's inside there for us, and she's saying Tsarnaev is stoic and looking down as the verdict is read. And that's definitely something that goes through all of our minds, is because we don't see him there. What exactly is going through his mind, or how does he look, and how is he reacting to all of these guilties?
And that is something that he has been, we have count 5 in? Yes. Count 5, guilty as well. Hold on one second. Use of a firearm at the forum, that would be the pressure cooker bomb. That would be the second bomb that was detonated. Pressure cooker bomb number 2. Awaiting more on.
Count 6, guilty as well. So as Brad just said, so far, counts 1 through 6, we have a clean sweep, guilty for Dzhokhar Tsarnaev. Count 6, by the way, was conspiracy to bomb a place of public use. And that's caused the death of Crystal Campbell. It caused the death of Officer Sean Collier. It caused the death of Lingzi Liu. It caused the death of Martin Richards. So guilty on that as well. So guilty on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And they all involve these victims here as well. They also involve the places. They also involve the pressure cooker as well, uses of weapons of mass destruction. Count 7, we're waiting for that right now. And that is bombing a public place with a pressure cooker bomb, and that resulting in the death of Crystal Campbell.
We talked about his demeanor in court right now, saying he is stoic. Count 7 has come in. It is a guilty. Once again, guilty for count 7. That's aiding and abetting. That is a pressure cooker bomb number 1, resulting in the death of Crystal Campbell.